I am so grateful to God for having changed me. Mm, mm, mm. I don't know if anybody else is changing like this at all. I really don't. I don't know, but I am. I'm not hearing other people talking about it. Not like this. And it's so hard to believe. It's like, oh my God, the inside changes. These are the best. It's the best thing ever in my life happened. I had I've been having these every day, and I was just crying just now out of gratitude. I'm so grateful for God to change me. This is I never thought I'd change. Not really. I don't know. I didn't know how I could change or if I was going to change, and what to. You know what I mean? There's changes, of course, that I wanted or whatever, but I didn't know that it would feel like this or look like this. And these internal changes are the kinds where uh, it's like, I guess, feelings and states of the heart. So maybe that sounds vague, but let me try to see if I can tell you one of them. And I bet this ain't even gonna make no sense to anybody. But my neighbor next door, uh, and I have had a long, 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 many years, years and years of some things, particularly on my end, where I didn't like stuff, but all was okay. More or less, we were good. Meaning that I would go over there to a party or whatever, to a birthday party, and all that. But then 2 years, 3 years, I forgot. Uh, yeah, 2 years ago. Um, I she likes to do certain things that I don't like, and her perspective I don't like either. How she like she's the head of the homemade owner association, and she calls and rats on everybody. But then she would park in my parking space, and then somebody else parked in somebody else's parking space. She would be calling the homeowner association and all that stuff on them. So I would feel that wasn't fair. And so I came home one day morning, and she had some truck or something that she rented, and it was in my parking space. And I have a roommate who is on a walker, so I didn't like it, but not so much that I didn't. It wasn't like I didn't like it where I was gonna be mad about it, but the fact that she always fusses and gets all shitty and doesn't give grace to anybody else who would do that, I felt incensed and that it was unfair. Oh, inside me, I just couldn't understand how she figured that she was going to do it and nobody else could be gracious to anybody else, just to sit there for a few minutes or however long, always to call and fuck people up. So I didn't know, actually, to be honest, I didn't even know it was hers. But then she had come out the house, and I was like, she was like, "Oh, I'm sorry." It's like, and it's so like, then after I got my roommate up in the house, so I told you she's on the walker, and then I went back outside. I saw her, and she looks at me from her front porch, and she says, we can do, I did that because we're neighbors." I'm like, what? To myself, I'm like, what in the fuck? We ain't shit. We are not special because other neighbors, she wouldn't bestow that type of love or grace or anything to. And I just don't want to be special and neighbors with some one special person. I want everybody to be treated fairly and with love and just like give them a break. That bothered me because she wouldn't give the people under me. We have condos and there's one underneath. She wouldn't give those people a break. God, she messed with them and fucked with them constantly until they really moved, And that was sad for me because they had the little kid who was only 2. When the kid had a 2-year-old party, somebody, we had just got those spaces marked. So we shouldn't have any marked assigned spaces. And so in the summer, they had marked each space, which I really didn't want because it was not in front of my door. But either way, I accepted it. But so a couple months later, I think October, maybe it was, and then when they had a party, somebody had parked in one of the spaces or something. Oh God, it was this big, reporting and all this old stupid shit. I don't really like that. And the other harassment that she would do to those particular people, whom I really liked. I mean, anyway, I didn't like it that she harassed people. Always walking around the neighborhood trying to take pictures and get them in trouble and, all this little stuff. Um, Reporting. And so when she said, "Oh, this like you're, we are neighbors. I can park in your space," and then I'm thinking to myself, I don't like it. So I said, since I wasn't aware of that, I didn't like it. I said, "You don't like it when somebody does that to you." Oh God, she says, "Oh, oh, well now you've said it. Now you've done it." Or something like that. And I'm thinking, yeah, I done said it because that's how I felt. That was more truth to what I was feeling than me to shake my head and go, mm-hmm. I just couldn't do that. I didn't want to fake it again. I'd had a lot of faking. I'm tired of faking. So after that, she wouldn't speak to me. Uh, and at some point, like a year or I don't know how long later, I had just decided, look, I don't give a shit. I'm gonna speak to her. She can not speak. She don't want to because I don't like not speaking in my heart. So now it's been 2 years, and the point of this story is that I had some changes, and I have been speaking to her lately, and even yesterday she was speaking back like she didn't mind. She would always speak to me, but she act like her whole mouth was gonna fall off or something like. Oh, I say hi, hi. She go, huh, nah, wave like, or something like that. Hi, hi, or some sort of thing that like she grunted or not grunted at least a little, but more of a, like it was hard for her to allow herself to speak. And anyhow, I love her little dog, so she acted like normal, yesterday. But anyway, this morning, this is the change that I'm talking about at the beginning of the video, before I went all into that, is that I was looking out my window in the back, and I saw her on her, the stairs, that go down, where spiral staircase that goes down, and she was leaning over because she likes to, flowers and all kinds of stuff out there. And I saw her hair, and for just a minute, and her, I just was like, oh, Angie, because at first I was like, is that Angie? Because it almost didn't look like her. And I said, yeah, I'm thinking the inside, like, yeah, that's her. And in my heart, I felt a little wave, a flutter of love. Like, I don't know what that was about. It was more like a recognition of my neighbor for the last 30 years inside my heart. And the heart felt, you know, just a love. And the love didn't have any other stuff that could cancel it out, like my thoughts of, ugh, or things I didn't like. Even yesterday, I was thinking about some things I didn't like. She has a porch light that motion sensors, and it senses over onto my porch, so I can't go outside without sneaking and trying to go, make sure that fucker didn't trip. Uh, anyway, but I didn't think any of that today at all when I just had looked at her and I saw her, and I didn't consciously think anything except for, oh, was that really her? Because the way the lady was bending over, I wasn't so sure. And then I realized, yeah, that's her. And then, but at the same time, inside, I felt that uh, it was an emotion, a flutter of a little flash, a little wave of energy. That was like, it was just love. It was interesting. It wasn't long. It wasn't big, or like, oh, it wasn't that. It was just something inside, like, so I know that's a big change. I had not felt something like that in many years. I didn't even know I was writing in my journal. I didn't even know I could feel a thing like that. I think I maybe had a feeling similar to that years and years ago when I was more, uh, I wouldn't be able to say more spiritual, but I used to meditate a lot, and I'd have a lot of spiritual experiences or mystical experiences. Anyway, I am going to stop this video. It's 13 minutes, and I was talking about how God has changed me, and I'm so, whew, I'm blessed, and I'm grateful.